Jimmy Jake Johnson by Keegan Murphy. Some may know the ways of life, some may not, but there's always adventure somewhere out there, awaiting anyone who desires. We start off at my small, humble abode as I whittle small logs and pieces of driftwood from my travels. While carving a charm for my necklaces, I had an idea to trade across many lands. I sell trinkets and jewelry that are spoken about by many villages and tribes far and wide. So I packed my bags and my merchandise, and I was on my way to make fame across the globe. My travels took me to small villages, and I worked my way up to a travel shop. I made my way to one of those most money-obsessed cities, Las Vegas. I did so well on my first night, I made $1,350, and I ran out of merchandise. I bought more supplies and kept saving money to buy a camper. I saved more money until I had enough to buy some property to start a business. I hired a construction company to build me a warehouse and a shop for my business. I had this store for about a year and a half until my systems were taken over by my employees, and all the money from the credit cards was transferred to their accounts. As I was about to unplug the servers, I heard a loud explosion. My ears only heard ringing and the faint sounds of flame crackling. As I was getting up, I realized that I was dragged out of my building that was on fire. I also felt something heavy on my back. I turned my head and looked at the horrid sight of a pipe sticking out of my back, burnt chunks and blood dripping from the pipe. I fainted. I woke up in the hospital. It felt different, silent, except the sound of beeping and the tapping of rain on the window. I slid my legs over the side of the bed with a groan. I let out a small yell because the pain in my back was horrible. I stood up to see bandages and gauze across my chest and back. Dazed, I sat back down as a doctor walked in to see me sitting up. She was holding a tray with food, and she left, after setting the tray down. She came back with a dolly that had the same pipe that was in my back. The doctor said,
"Why don't you eat lunch and try to make up your mind as to what you want to do with this pipe?"
I knew this started what was to be an inevitable revenge on whoever had caused this. I set out on my way after paying the hospital bill. I started by going back to where it all happened, the shop. I looked for what had started this, and all I found was a few burnt propane tanks with open valves. I had tried to look for more info on who did this, but it all was burnt and lost. My servers and screens were melted. So I got a new phone to check the cloud for info. I found out that each and every one of my employees had the plan to kill me. It was on a shared document on Google Docs. Luckily, I was alive and well enough to go to each of their addresses. I fired them along with taking the money stolen from the credit cards. I had them arrested and charged with attempted murder and theft. They are serving 30 to life with parole if they get out early with good behavior.